It's easy to think that we grew up in some kind of golden age and that this moment right now is some kind of tipping point, but you'll find evidence that people thought the same thing back in the 20th century, the 19th century, the 18th century, and a long, long time before that. What we need to help kids learn now are exactly the same kinds of things that William James lectured about back in the 19th century, and which have been discussed at least since Socrates' time: focus and attention, and the disposition to see things through and get things done. Of course, technology has changed along the way, and over the last 50 years some technology has nearly supplanted its predecessors. There's little I did with a cassette recorder that I wouldn't do more easily and better with an iPod or digital recorder right now. Some might say the same thing about books, that they will soon go the way of 8-track tapes, but I'm not so sure. E-books are still slower, more expensive, and far less durable than printed books. And their advantages come from the fact that they are something of a book plus another book, a book plus a dictionary, a book plus an encyclopedia, a mini library. But if you compare that mini library to a real library, it's the same story. The real thing is faster, the real thing is cheaper, the real thing is more durable. You'll never get into a subject on your iPad as well as you will in the right spot, in the right library. There's no better place than right around all the books you need that are on that very same subject. But we need to make sure that our students can learn with and express themselves using all the tools around them, exposing them to the most important ones and choosing to emphasize the ones like graphing calculators that help them focus and go deep, and others like tablets and cell phones that let them explore more widely when that is appropriate. Personal computers, in their least expensive form, the netbook, seem to me to be something of a sweet spot, offering applications that are very deep and at the same time have access to support that is hard to provide in a 40-minute class period. This support in well-constructed websites that contain curated, sequenced, consistent, granular, high-quality content can effectively extend the school day, especially when supported by discussion forums in Moodle and the like. These are essentially lectures, to some a dirty word, but because of their specificity and brevity, they are helpful for many students. Links are the biggest part of the web's magic. In the case just mentioned, the links are to explanatory information. The biggest so-called 2.0 thing that we need to teach our students to use and to produce are links. Links connect to the most important knowledge and analysis. Generally, the information that is the easiest to find is the least valuable, and the understanding that is priceless is rarely a key click away. You would think that the web would be very helpful to me as I try to get my head around these issues. When I go out digging for gold at my computer screen, it usually doesn't take very long before I hit the paywall. And then I need to make a choice. Schlep downtown to the library, pony up for the troll under the bridge, and hope the article is as good as its description. This rainbow world is looking a little bit like Dorothy's Kansas at this moment. When the stakes are higher, so is the paywall. In the past year, I've been very interested in tracking a variety of legislation in Columbus, and there are some incredible resources that allow legislators and lobbyists alike to have a very good view of this breaking news. But you gotta have a password, and the password will cost you. In this case, the troll is no flea. It's more like a basilisk guarding the Chamber of Secrets. The toll for this troll, in this case, is serious money. And the takeaway is that our students need to have the tenacity and perseverance to obtain the information they need despite the paywall. They need to find a subscriber who will help them. Finding that subscriber is a 21st century skill. 21st century employers describe their goals with fewer bullet points than educators do. They say that they are looking for workers who are really smart and who get things done. And there are 2.0 tools that will help them with that. If I wanted to imagine where to target product development in the years ahead, I might query a quantitative search engine and say China now and India very soon after that. But I wouldn't know how to ask that evaluative question if I didn't have some factual notion in the first place that India and China will be the two biggest emerging markets in years to come. So I'm thinking students need all of Bloom's taxonomy, not just the higher order stuff. Speaking of Bloom, who seems present in my every professional development experience so far, someone told me that he never had any notion of higher order or lower order skills, and I decided to check that out. His book is online, sort of. It's there and searchable, which is great, but the search results only show a very little bit around the words that you look for, which, by the way, only occur a few times in the book and not in the sense that we use them when we count. How many times did I see synthesis compared to how many times did I see application in a classroom? But I couldn't see this from a computer because links also present a very big danger at the same time that they provide value. The danger is loss of context. Loss of context isn't unique to 2.0 web links. People have twisted the words of others throughout recorded history. I'm more worried about unconscious misunderstanding than I am about conscious or semi-conscious deception. It would probably help if I had had a clue as to the definition of the word taxonomy. Once I had Bloom's actual book in hand, I discovered that although some domains are more complex and dependent on others, they don't outrank each other. There's a good reason that I've heard so much about Bloom. It's a great book. The web should make it easy to get to the real heart of Bloom's work. In this case, it was real pay dirt. Bloom had no pyramid, no graphics, lots of text, and I would say he was too complicated for a high-concept elevator pitch. Exactly the kind of stuff I hope my students will be able and eager to understand. In 1825, William Smythe, a tutor at Bowdoin College, who had previously focused his attention on Greek, decided to offer sophomores a course in algebra taught on a blackboard. It proved to be a great success, to the extent that, quote, a considerable portion of the juniors requested the privilege of reviewing the algebra under the new method at an extra hour. Alpheus Spring Packard commented wryly in his History of Bowdoin College that such a request was a wonder in college experience. At Google, Apple, Microsoft, and other high-flying companies, the way that employees learn a lot of useful knowledge, applications, and pre-digested analysis is through lectures. And lectures, usually longer than the ones at Khan or the ones I showed you at iTunes U. We assume that the novelty of 21st century toys will engage students, make them more attentive, more likely to participate and complete assigned work. In 1825, the novelty was blackboards. In 2005, it's interactive whiteboards. Each has pluses and minuses, but there's no doubt to me that once students are interested, a lot of time-tested methods are more efficient. And I have no doubt that our new tools can provoke interest separate from their novelty, and that they have dangers too. As teachers, we can be distracted by sizzle. Students can construct things that once upon a time required discipline and effort, but that now take only a key click or two. So we need to make sure that the grammar of film is in our hands, and we need to make sure that a video submission has all the characteristics of a well-written essay. Topic sentence, clarity, justification, all that stuff. which in most cases means that the student wrote something like an essay before filming. Most films are made from scripts. Most scripts are made from treatments. Most treatments are based on outlines. So it's like Bloom's taxonomy all over again. One domain does not supplant another. One skill does not replace another. Making this PechaKucha convinced me of this. What I initially wrote was quick, easy to do, and a lot more complicated than what I've been able to present in these overlong minutes. And I still have to add links. I'll have to hold off on my argument regarding revisability until I see you again. And I'll have to learn more about how to use these tools more efficiently, which I think could be a lot of fun.